So you heard the one about the fly half, the goalkeeper and the spin bowler. Spin bowler or all-rounder?
I'll take spin bowler.
Spin bowler.
Batting's rubbish at the moment.
Who works the hardest? Who trains the hardest? Which sport? Which discipline? Come on.
We were just talking about that. I reckon, without blowing my own trumpet, cricketers, without a doubt, we have the easiest line. But I'm not a fast bowler, but goalkeepers don't sound like they work much harder than spin
we're not
bowlers.
doing an awful lot.
Is your work similar? Do you do similar stuff? Rugby and football?
I was just saying that.
Not with what I do, not with the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I'd imagine with the outfielders, but not with,
Yeah.
not with what the beasts do, no.
And who does the most hours a week training?
Probably, we'd probably do the most time-consuming stuff.
Yeah, theirs is the worst, I think.
It just goes on all day.
You boys been on the field for like a whole day, that would kill me. It's like shocking with your misses or something.
We're real endurance athletes, that's basically what we are.
Built for
I'll
endurance.
tell you what, I bet you guys don't do. I bet you don't play cricket for a warm-up, because we play rugby or football.
Very true, very true.
Until they
And
both
you should
got
get
banned.
injured.
They both got banned,
Until
yeah. We
everyone
do
gets
boxing
smashed.
now instead.
Oh, that's fun.
That works.
Yeah.
Joe, if you hadn't been a footballer, what kind of sport would you love to have played at the highest level, if you could have had as much ability as you like?
I did enjoy cricket. I enjoyed cricket the most. But Dad was a rugby man, so don't really know which way I would have gone.
But as a hero, as a star, what would you want to be if you weren't a footballer?
Cricket.
Graeme?
Alan Shearer's my hero, so I'd have had to be a footballer. I always still think I might get a game for Newcastle at some point. Judging by the defenders they're buying at the minute, I might get one before the season's out. You can't laugh at that.
It's harsh. That's harsh.
What were you saying? Oh no.
I'd have loved to have been a footballer.
We have got 2 Newcastle season ticket holders sitting either side of the Manchester City goalkeeper. What would you like to have been, Toby?
Formula One driver.
Formula One driver.
Mate, none of this stuff doing it for yourself. The car would have done everything. You just done that, and that would be perfect for me.
A 6 feet 2 inch Formula One
Yeah, I
driver.
would have struggled. I reckon, you know, luckily it's
Or a
safety
jockey. You
records
could be a
good. I
jockey.
could have been a jockey.
I'd have enjoyed the £25 million a year contract.
Yeah, exactly, and all the
Ferrari,
women
yeah.
we're talking about.
I'd have hated the yachts and the supermodels, though, so that's why I didn't pick that.
Good thinking.
Where do you think the best banter is? Obviously, you all play team sports. Strangely, you're all individual disciplines within team sports, but within the framework of the team, where's the best banter, Graeme?
I reckon it's always when you come back from a break, just in the change room, that half an hour before you go out training or whatever, just seeing the incredible outfits that some idiot's going to wear, the stories that the youngster's going to have about the girl he met from Liverpool the other week, stuff like that. That first half hour back is incredible banter.
Think in between us, yeah?
Yeah.
That kind of thing,
That
yeah.
sort of stuff.
What about Joe? What's the most fun in being a footballer? Because as a high-profile footballer, there's so many things you can't do. You can't just walk down the high street anymore. So where's the real fun in it for you?
It's only for certain people that you can't do that. You know, most of us can do what we want, kind of thing, to a certain extent. But when you do get something like an occasion where everyone can get together and not necessarily everyone else is interested in what you're doing, that's the best, I suppose. And the morning after, like Graeme said, when everyone's comparing what happened the night before.
I mean, rugby club banter is legendary. Is it the same as it was 20 years ago, though?
It's still pretty harsh, yeah. There's no forgiving, you know what I mean? It's pretty tough, but I think the best for me is post-match. If you've won a game and you're all sat there and it's pretty chilled out and relaxed, and you know no one wants to get out the dressing room early, we all sit there for an hour chatting away and just chilling out. That's pretty much where you want to be. But you don't want to make a mistake during the game or do something stupid, otherwise you always remember it. And the boys will get stuck in for you doing that.
This team game comes to a standstill when you have to take a place kick and the other 29 players on the field are suddenly not involved. How strange a moment is that when you've been knocking 7 bells out of somebody 30 seconds earlier?
It's not too bad. I think it's something you get used to. I reckon there are times when you're suddenly thinking, why is everyone quiet and what's going on and why is everyone looking at you? But you just got to manage your kind of mental state and get yourself away from it. And if you can kind of manage how that's going and to take yourself away from the game, take all the crowd out of it and just concentrate on that kind of single thing you've got to do.
You've got a similar moment, similar scenario when there's a penalty about to be taken. It's suddenly there's just 2 players on the field that matter.
Yeah, true. But I enjoy that moment because I know you can lose. Obviously, you're letting the goal-ins losing, but at the same time, you can only really do well out of a penalty. So I quite enjoy it, and I quite enjoy trying to get involved with the person who's trying to take the penalty and have as much fun as I can, really.
I mean, and for you, Graeme, a total different level of concentration when, okay, you're a slip fielder, you've got to concentrate all the time, but are you at a different kind of level when you've actually got the ball in your hands and you're bowling?
Yeah, it's a completely different game. I mean, when you're bowling, it's all up to you. You know what's going to happen every ball in your head before it happens. Fielding at slip's a nightmare because you stood next to 3 other blokes who you've been talking to all morning, not necessarily about cricket, in fact 95% of the time not about cricket, and your talent spotting in the crowd and all sorts like that. And then all of a sudden, a little nick, and it's weird because everything goes in slow motion, and every slip catch is an absolute sitter to you because it comes in slow motion, but when you drop it you can't understand, and the big screen replays it time after time after time. So give me bowling any day. I only film the slip so I don't have to get abuse on the boundary.
You've got dream jobs. What's the worst part of your job, Graeme?
I'd say being a spoil cricketer is having to get up before 9 o'clock when you're on tour in the subcontinent. The games start at 7:30 in the morning, so you've got to be out of the hotel for like 5:30. It's a nightmare for me.
Joe?
Losing sounds boring, but no,
it is boring. It's got to be a better answer than that.
It
It must be part of the discipline which you hate. You enjoy training, really?
Yeah, I do. We just leap around in the mud, so that keeps me happy all day long. But yeah, I'm not.
Pre-season training, is that hard?
It is. I'm a bit of a weirdo. I quite like it, so I might be one of the weird ones.
You know what they say about goalkeepers. What about you, Toby?
Oh, it has to be injuries. I think the moment you're not allowed to do what we are lucky enough to do, and you sit there for however length of time, 6 months that I had to do, it's not pretty. It's hard mentally. I think that's easily the worst thing for me.
Just finally, you've got a guy 3 stone heavier than you bearing down one-on-one some brick outhouse of a centre. Is there any fear involved in the game for you anymore?
I don't get involved in that. That's why I've got a 7 and 12. No, it's not. You just get used to it. You just kind of. It's one of those things. You close your eyes, hope for the best, and hopefully he falls over. It's there are guys ultimately because of my body shape a lot bigger than me. So you just kind of grin and bear it, get through it, and normally you do okay.
And that 50-50, when that centre forward's maybe not got eyes for the ball, maybe got eyes for you, is there ever a moment in the game when you're intimidated by somebody?
No, because different to rugby, the football lads aren't usually that big, so.
They've still got hard elbows, Joe.
I know, yeah, but you've got to go in just as hard, otherwise you'll get hurt, really. So if anything, go in harder.
And the fastest guy you've faced?
The fastest guy I'd show a back tire, but it's.
And what's it like?
It's weird. Like I say, everything happens in slow motion when you're there. As long as if you stay in line with the ball, you can see it. It's never been one of those things. Even when a cricket ball hits you flat out, it doesn't hurt because your adrenaline's going. It's an hour later when you get in the change room and realise your arm's hanging off, and they keep replaying that over and over again, and everyone's laughing at you. That's when it starts to dig in a little bit.
Are they the dig deep moments when Shoaib Akhtar has handed the ball and you're not out?
No, I think it's more when you're throwing the ball and the batsman needs one to win, and you need 1 wicket. That's when you've got to dig deep.
And for you, Joe, the real dig deep moment?
Like them last minute, last second saves you've got to make, or the cross you've got to come for that you don't really want to, but you've got to.
And it's 12 all, and you're awarded a penalty 35 yards out, and they hand you the ball. Is that the dig deep moment?
Yeah, I guess so. When it's the last bit of the game and you're hanging out and you're blown a bit and you've got to settle your nerves and get it over, that's probably the toughest part.